All right, man, we back once again. Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video, and yeah, let's talk about how much blame Matthew Stafford get for what's going on this season. That's been going on, the previous 2 years with Matt Patricia. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video, and I mean, you can't blame him for the defense. Let's start off there. The defense and special teams was horrible last year. This year, the special team's pretty dope. We can't lie about that. They balling. But defensively, he put up 29. That's solid. They gave up 35. Could have gave up more if the Saints pressed the action a little bit. But as far as, Bob Quinn not protecting him the right way, as far as with a line, not finding a running back, I mean, if I'm dropping back, I wish somebody give me this number. How many average times has, Matthew Stafford attempted to pass or drop back in his career? You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, if Trent Dilfer can win a Super Bowl, what was my man's name? Brad Johnson can win a Super Bowl. Kerry Collins can go to a Super Bowl. Jake Delhomme can go to a Super Bowl. When you look at those teams, especially the Trent Dilfer team and the Brad Johnson team, they had amazing defenses. The formula to building a Super Bowl team, it's not rocket science. Excuse me. It's not. What if the Patriots lived off of? They're fortunate enough to get an elite quarterback that took a pay cut. Talk about Seattle. They was fortunate to get a quarterback that was on a rookie contract, on a third round rookie contract. He been elite. Okay, but one thing they both have over the years, and at least in the beginning, Seattle was a dominant defense. You go to Ray Lewis and those teams with Trent Dilfer, dominant defense. Brad Johnson in the Bucks, dominant defense. And then you go back and say, what else did they have in common? They had dominant run game. Jamal Lewis, Marshawn Lynch. You can go, was it Antoine Smith, Corey Dillon? You can just keep going on and on. Warwick Dunn. They had dominant defense. So offense that they could run the ball. It's not hard how to build a team. You're not reinventing the wheel. The blueprint is out there. We need to protect the quarterback with a good line. We need to run the ball. We need to stop the run, get after the passer. And if you're able to stop the run and get after the passer up front, your back end don't have to work as hard. Didn't Philly show us that? Dominant front end, shitty back end when they won the Super Bowl. So it's not hard. You don't have to go out there and get a flashy receiver. Who was the Baltimore Ravens receivers? Maybe Rocket Ishmael? You don't remember. Who were some of the receivers that Brady won early on with? Troy Brown played offense and defense. David Gibbons and Deion Branch. He left and it wasn't nothing in Seattle. Come on. Some of the receivers that Seattle had, Golden Tate was nice and Doug, but they wasn't Doug Baldwin. They wasn't no world beaters. Percy Harvin, he was always injured. You feel me? So when you look at the situation, the architects have failed Matthew Stafford. And I'm going to give you a percentage at the end. They failed him. You can say, Stafford made too much money. At the end of the day, a right tackle got to be the road grader. He got to be able to pass block good enough, but you need to be the anchor running the ball. Your right guard, that's the run side of the line, but you should be able to run everywhere. Center, you got a good one in Ragnow. For years, Dominic Raiola was getting blue back except for 1 year in his career. Left tackle need to be your most gifted offensive lineman. And that's just not been the case with, Jeff Backus, Riley Reeve, Taylor Decker, whoever else played that. It's just not been the case. It's not hard. You don't have to go get Stafford. I'm not saying we shouldn't have got Calvin Johnson by any stretch of the imagination. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. But you don't have to pay Stafford all that money. You have to waste all them draft picks on tight ends. Just look at the Lions. No matter who at the head of the table, they make the same mistakes. Let's just use this as a scenario. You took Eric Ebron, right? You passed up on Aaron Donald. This blows my mind. You knew when Ndamukong Suh wasn't coming back, you couldn't pay him. That's a fact. You knew Nick Fairley wasn't picking up his fifth-year option. That was a fact. So you knew two of your defensive linemen was going away. Why not plug in Aaron Donald? They had Aaron Donald, they probably beat the Cowboys. All right? Fast forward a few years later, in the same scenario, you got Ed Oliver, Devin Bush. You take another tight end that you don't even know how to utilize. It just don't make no sense. It's pretty much the I'm going to say ownership, front office, and coaching. I'm going to give you this year. It is 90% of their faults. I'm going to say it's 5% personnel and 5% Matthew Stafford's fault. Over the course of the lifetime of the Lions, it is 95% the Lions organization fault. The owners, been owners, same family, front office, Mayhew Lewan, they got a promotion from Matt Millen. They was working with Millen. The coaches, the Lombardis, the Scott Linehans, the Caldwells, the Jim Schwartz, the Matt Patricias, the Darrell Bevels, even the defensive coordinators. It's 95% their fault. 2.5% personnel players and 2.5% Matthew Stafford's fault. And that's my opinion on it. That's my opinion. Oh, you just say Stafford's not good enough? Stafford is not good enough for this scenario. When you have a shitty organization who can't put players around him. They can't give them they don't keep the dominant players, they get the defensive players. They don't keep the players they need to keep. A Dominic Cassou. They should have traded Calvin if he didn't want to be here. They should have traded Barry going back then. And that's my opinion on it. They just don't get compensation for their great players, and they don't draft enough great players throughout the first 7 rounds the 7 rounds of the draft. So I said Stafford wasn't good enough for this organization. I mean it. Maybe he good enough for an organization like Baltimore. Maybe he's right for the organization like New England. Maybe he's right for the organization, like Seattle. But an organization who can't draft, where you gotta do the most with less, you need a special talent. And how many guys that can do more with less? As far as the quarterback position, you're probably looking at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the only guy I've seen go out there that I can think of. And maybe Russell Wilson. You got guys like Joe Montana, who is a system quarterback. You want to call Brady a system quarterback. You're probably looking at Peyton, Rodgers, Wilson, Marino. You know what I'm saying? That can be great with not everything perfect around them. But today, I'm probably thinking Rodgers, Wilson. I think Mahomes got that talent, in my opinion. I'm trying to look up the scale. Maybe Deshaun Watson, even though he hasn't won more, but he's done the most with less a lot of the years. I think it's a select few of players. You know what? Even though Carson Wentz hasn't done much, but he threw a touchdown pass to Travis Fulgham this Sunday night. People forget that. Fulgham, I think that was his first touchdown in the league. So he shown last year, even though that division is shitty day, he can win with shitty receivers. Certain guys, everything got to be the right system, the right personnel. Everything got to be perfect for them to win. And I think this was one of those situations where, everything doesn't have to be perfect for Stafford to win, but he need more around him. I don't think he's a Rodgers or Wilson. It shows, and I'm glad I remember this. I want to make this reference. It shows with the New York Jets when they had Rex Ryan and they had Mark Sanchez. Sanchez all he had to do was steer the boat. All he had to do was steer the boat. Everything was right around him. They ran the ball. They had solid receivers, Braylon Edwards. They had a dominant defense. Everything was perfect for Mark Sanchez. And when I'm thinking about Matthew Stafford, I just don't think he's a transcendent talent that can overcome all the deficiencies of the Detroit Lions. Does that talent exist? It might not. It might be so bad here that it doesn't exist. But if it is a guy that can get the most out the lesser, it's Rodgers, it's Wilson, it is generation. I don't think he's Rodgers or Wilson. Wilson ain't had the greatest offensive line. Rodgers can ball out whatever receivers he got. Look what he threw to last night. I don't know. So that's just my opinion on it. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video quest. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App is CJGood313. PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate is to share the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. One time for the one time we go.